What up?
Hello, everyone.
Forgot my hat again.
I don't have one.
I do. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, everyone. All right, so we got a few of the usual peeps around here. Um, I already said hi to all of you, so I'm not going to do it again because I'm lazy. Um, how are you guys doing? Are you getting ready for the holidays, festivities, and whatnot?
It looks frozen. Oh no, it's not frozen. I pushed the wrong button here. I was looking at the stream and I'm like, oh, it's frozen, but it's not. The countdown didn't start right away, so I had to finish that time. I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I did. Everybody did.
Everybody, yay!
Um,
New
all right,
month,
so
new stuff.
let's wait a few minutes. Um,
Wheel of
so
Vengeance. If you haven't
we
signed
got
up, let's do that.
yeah, give me 1 second. I'll mention it in all detail. So, who do we have here today? We got Richard, we got Devil, we got Stuart, we got Schwakil. That I think that you're new. I haven't seen you before. We got Arthur, we got Mark, AJ. He doesn't count. That's about it.
Alex.
Yeah, so as you guys know, or if you don't know, we're doing again the Wheel of Vengeance. Wheel of Vengeance is a chance for you guys, those who choose to participate in sort of like a gamble for a prize. The condition to enter this is basically you will up your current tier to the, I always forget the name, Golden Wheel, Golden Vengeance.
Wheel of Vengeance.
That, see, you
Golden.
will up your tier to that particular one just for tonight or longer if you want to. It's just a few bucks difference, and basically this allows you to participate in Wheel of Fortune style draw. Your name will be entered in such wheel. That wheel will be rolled, and the person whose name wins will then be participant of another wheel, which will be for prizes. These prizes are nothing huge, with the exception of all of them. Now, what I'm trying to say is we have a few ones for those who are, far away and cannot receive anything physical because they're not in the States and would prefer something more, um, you know, uh, ephemerous, if you will. Like, for example, you could be the winner of the big prize, which is full cast of a model of your choice. Second prize would be a new head for a ready-made model. So, for example, if you wanted to print Catwoman with AJ's face, why would you do that? You could make it happen.
Or you put my face
Um,
on there.
no, your face is already everywhere. Uh, Third place basically earns you either some free resin or some filament. And fourth place is basically a free month. Um, it's not a fourth place, it's kind of like interchangeable with the resin and the filament in case that it's very expensive for us to ship it or you have to pay taxes on your country, like in my case. You will get the choice of basically changing that reward for free month on VS3D. There's
Actually,
also
I eliminated the free month or the free resin filament. It's gone. We're just not going to do that because nobody's picked it. They've all opted for
okay.
free month, so we're just going to go that route.
Okay, so
We
there
were
you
we did replace it with choosing a pose for a
go.
model.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we replaced it with.
So recapping, a model of your choice that we can create however you guys want, using any head or a new head on a current model that we already created. It could be also a free month, or it could be a pose for a particular character. There's also a chance that you don't win, and it's a chance, like the game itself. But the good news is that basically you don't lose much. I think that the difference between tiers is going to be between 5 and how much? I don't have it in numbers in my head.
Prices.
Yeah,
There's between the lowest and the highest is $13.
$13. There you go. So
12 and
it's a
20.
choice. I mean, obviously, nothing guarantees that you're going to win again. It's just a roll of a digital wheel. We do not manipulate that in any other way than importing the names and the prices that we're giving. Then it's just out of pure luck. But maybe for $13 you have a model that you always dream to have, and we can craft it for you. So it's up to you. If you're interested in all this, we ask you to try to change tiers right now because soon we're gonna be doing the Wheel of Vengeance actually very soon. We don't want you to delay too much because we have a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah, Arthur just upgraded too, so I've got
Awesome.
him. I just added him on the wheel, so we should be still
Awesome.
up to date. Oh, now we're in the mix.
It was the Gate Man Jacuzzi that sold it. We can do that.
What's that?
No, Stuart is making a reference. Anyway, what are we going to talk about tonight? We got the December models that you all know what's coming. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about January models. And we're going to stop it, Stuart. You're distracting me. We're going to talk about January. We're going to do Wheel of Vengeance. We're going to talk about the future, not only of the models, but also of the channel itself. That's pretty much it. Usually we try to aim for the lowest amount of time possible, but never works out. I remember the first stream that we went to, Jordan told me, it's going to be like an hour. And it ended up being like 2.5 hours.
It happens.
It happens. And I'm honestly always looking forward for the stream. I really enjoy talking with all of you guys and to share what the progress of the month or of the channel is at the time of the stream. So it's not that I'm running away from the duration of the stream. The longer the merrier, but I know that we have people that are overseas, like I was mentioning today on Discord, like Mark. He is in Britain, and there's actually between the East Coast of the United States and Britain is 7 hour difference. So for him right now it's like 1 a.m. I am in Argentina, which is South America. It is not part of Brazil. Fuck you all. Sorry. So the stream right now is scheduled for 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now is 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
Not getting
So
any
I'm
money
sure
for this video.
So there's people from all over the world, and we're very thankful for that. And like I was mentioning today, honestly, we cannot do anything about time difference. This is the most comfortable time for everybody. People that are getting out of work on the eastern side, the western side of the world, excuse me, and people that it's not too late on a Friday / Saturday night on the rest of the world. Exception is Asia because they're all weird and they're like 12 hours ahead or behind or on. It doesn't matter. It's Asia's fault. But yeah, you want to get started with the December models?
Yeah, I figure we could we'll show off what we've already all seen. That way it's, we'll start with what we know.
Yeah.
This right here was actually printed and painted by James Pike.
That's very nice.
I thought it was excellent, so I figured we should show this beauty off. And
Will you zoom in a little bit on the image so people can see a bit of the details? There we go. Yeah, so obviously we don't hold you responsible for what you paint, the prints, what colors you use or anything like that. If you want to keep it traditional and original as possible, that's fine. If you want to make it look like the Grinch, that's up to you. And there's no, you did an awful job because, I don't know, you paint the skin too dark or too light. We're not looking for that. We're looking for you guys to enjoy this and the process of learning and printing. And if you're selling this, by all means, go crazy with details. We love James. James is a machine. I mean, I think he and Mark are the ones that brings the fastest as soon as the models are released. And you guys knock it out of the park every single time. So good job to you guys.
All right, let me pull up.
Hey, Andrew.
I was to say AJ's been pumping out these tests for me really quick too.
Yeah.
Which I might show off in a second, but we'll start off showing where's this old man at? This is one of the two old school Marvel Universe models here of Abraham Whistler. It's not letting me zoom in for some reason. Why don't you zoom in? Oh, it's not letting me zoom in, so that is what we get.
Well, you have the same images on Patreon anyway, guys. So you've
Right.
seen them. I want to make a case on the James's model because I want to see his work on the paint. Um,
Right.
I think that at one point I'm going to talk to you, Jordan, about something I had written in my head,
Okay.
but I'm gonna do it now, and this is optional. But maybe one day we do something like, a painting contest.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll say we've done one before.
Yeah, and I think that it's a cool thing to integrate people that are new, not necessarily the old guys that actually know, not by age, but old guys that have experience painting and that. I paint like crap. I don't know how to paint properly. For me, putting paint on the airbrush is a 45 to 1 hour deal because I don't like to not have control over things, and for me, it's very random what color is gonna come out. Anyway, so I think that for new guys that are starting up, I mean, gaining that confidence of like, I painted this and I'm ready to share it with the world, even if you don't win. Just the fact that you're sharing something that you did, that's you win right there.
And you can also learn new techniques when you do that too, because you'll see somebody that was able to do something where you're like, damn, I couldn't figure out how to do that. And then that person could then share tips with you, which will ultimately just make you a better painter in the end.
Absolutely, and eventually, I mean, we might talk about doing something like contest with prizes. We don't know yet. It's just an idea I've been thinking about. Mostly, what I would like to see is the participation, not a race. I don't want anybody to think like if we do this that you have to rush to get your thing printed and painted right on time. There's not going to be rules like you have to show your progress every 17 hours. I don't care about that personally.
What we did last time was we gave everybody like a 2-month time frame to let them know, like, hey, we let them know a month in advance. You couldn't pre-paint anything. You could have it printed, but you couldn't start painting it until then. And then somebody suggested, well, so that nobody could cheat, let's do it with a new model. That way nobody could already have had it printed, kind of half painted, and just was like, yeah, here's my picture I just took just now,
Right.
From 2 weeks ago. But so I think that's what we'll do too, is if we ever go to do it again, we'll do a model that's being released that month, and then we'll release it at a specific date. That way people can start painting it and go with a contest based on it. That way we know it's a time frame thing.
And by all means, if you want to paint it for yourself one way and then for the contest in a different way, that's fair and valid. Just know that for the contest, you have to paint it from scratch. It cannot be something that you already painted. It defeats the purpose, if not of the competition, because Jordan can come up with, I don't know, the Batman reflection that he got behind him is like, I painted this. He didn't, and also it's old. So that's not the point. The point is that everybody can learn from each other. I think that 2 days ago somebody was mentioning how to do the zenithal painting on a model, and Jordan, you had no idea what it was. I don't paint it; I know what it is. But I'm not shaming you. I'm just saying that lack of knowledge from all of us, because nobody's perfect, nobody knows everything. That we are a community, we can share these tips and information and knowledge is what makes us better craftsmen or women. So that's my idea, and we're gonna polish the details into the next year. There's the biggie.
That's Blade. That's the big dog. That's the day walker. That way people can kind of, I'm just going to try to zoom in and get them details with this highly, highly beautiful detailed model that Macon did, which has multiple head options in different ways that you could do this, especially with the torso being a sleeveless option as well. And as you can all see, it's that pose that you had voted for. And then a simple base that would match Whistler. That way they could either be together or separate and it not look odd. That's kind of what we were going for with base design. And I had no input. That was all Macon's idea right there. But while we're on the topic of Blade, I have to show the secret model that was announced for $16 and $25 tiers only. It's a bonus model for this month. And if you give me 2 seconds, I'm hoping to blow everyone's mind in 2 seconds here. I have to find the one. This is the one I'll share. And then I'll share another one too. So for those who decided to upgrade, it's not too late because it's not released. So as long as you upgrade this month, you will get this. And that was the second vote for Blade, the second pose option that almost won. That was kind of in the lead, but ultimately did not win. And again, it's very highly detailed. He has the same kind of swap out parts as the other Blade does in terms of swap out torsos, swap out heads, smiling face, glasses, no glasses, old Blade, young Blade. It's all the same as the standard one that we were releasing. So I thought this was really cool. And I don't have a render for it, but there's going to be two options for this base. One will be this that you see, short gargoyle. The other one will be about twice as long with holes in the back to make it wall mountable. That way you can go like this Vengeance Studios Batman that's up there on my wall. It's wall mounted, but it can also be put on a desk because it's nice and flat. So that's a cool little bonus treat for everybody.
So the idea behind it is that basically we have the two models of like Whistler and Blade as museum poses, but we wanted to do a bit something special, and basically we give you a Blade, on the on top of the gargoyle on a building anywhere in the city.
Oh, yeah.
In that corner of the building, basically the way that it's made, the back of it has some holes so you can wall mount it. And maybe I'm not sure if we did this or not. We did the whole thing of LED lighting behind?
LED lighting behind what?
Remember that I mentioned to put some sort of channel so people can.
Oh yeah, no LED things on it.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm pretty sure that you guys can figure out where to, if you wanted to, maybe drill a few holes on the base where the blades' feet are, and put some red lights or blue lights or wherever you want to hide that.
I would just put a red light shining on them like in this render. That's cool.
That's true. You can go many ways, and the cool thing that is being wall mountable, you can put it on any wall, any corner, whatever you guys want. You can. I don't know if you guys display your models by topic, like for example, all the Blade models, all the Marvel models, all the Batmans, all in one location. If you have it like spread out. But I don't know if you want to do something like Image Comics or Marvel Comics or DC or whatnot in one location. Maybe you can have Blade being part of that specific spot. I think it's a nice treat to have, especially for Christmas. You have an extra model of one of the main models of this month.
I was trying to find a sleeveless option of that so I could show. Excuse me. All these photos are kind of spread out, and they downloaded. They all have the same names, unfortunately. I think that's the closest. Oh no, here it is. The tattoos are beveled for easy painting purposes.
That's great.
Yes, because we wanted them to be able to look as best as possible, and we figured freehanding's not always a good option.
Right.
Especially
no, and I know a bunch of people actually provide, like for example, decals that you in the files, like in the zip file, they provide like decals that you can print, and then you can use as transparencies or transferables onto the model. It's such a hassle if you don't have a good printer and you don't have the transfer paper and all that stuff. It's just a pain in the ass. I think that being like that, where you can just put an amount of paint and build layers, so it's at the same relief of the remainder of the arm in this case. And I think it's very useful for everybody.
Oh yeah. And the details, I'm just like slowly zooming across this, and I'm just mind blown every time I look at it.
Yeah,
like it's so cool to me.
So yeah, that's Blade and Whistler.
Then
we talk about Elf.
And then I've got. Let me see if I've got it loaded. If not, pardon me for 2 seconds. Let me make sure. Video storage. I do have this. I know that not much could be seen from that because it's got a like an icy kind of gloss over to it, but that's okay because I have where did it go? It's in my picture section. I've got this beauty to show off like so. This is going to be the standalone version of Mr. Freeze based off of the Sub-Zero movie. This Eddie's kind of been showing a little bit of it on his Facebook and Instagram, so if you follow him, you'll have seen possibly this already. I wish there was a much easier way of just clicking and showing like in a slideshow without having to do this, but I'm trying to do individuals and it wasn't letting me zoom on that. I was just going to zoom in, so I didn't have to keep switching. But as you can all see, it's very animated like. It's not super detailed, but it's enough to where it's not just 2D animation like the cartoon. It's very modern looking in terms of having muscle definition. You know, the color grading on everything may not be exactly how it was, but that's because Eddie likes to stylize, and nothing wrong with that as long as it's got the same core concept, which it does. So I thought the polar bear was actually wrong, but then when I went and re-looked at it, he pretty much nailed it. And it's pretty
based on that right now. Spider Tina here mentioned something that is very interesting, which is like, is that a polar dog cat? No, it's a polar bear, but it's stylized.
It's a polar bear. It's
a polar bear.
If we look at the I have the photo somewhere of the cover of Sub-Zero, and that bear is identical. Because that's why I had doubted it initially when I first looked at it. I was like, the bear looks a little cat-ish to me. And then he goes, I just based it off of the photo you sent, and I re-looked at the photo, and I was like, well, you nailed it, bro. So don't change it.
No, and honestly, I mean, you mentioned that it might not be completely accurate.
A little stylized, you know.
I think that anybody who follows any sort of Batman and has, at the very least, seen the Sub-Zero movie will immediately know that that's, for me, they will not know this about me, but it's a very good representation of what Mr. Freeze in the animated series was, and I think that Eddie Small, it makes justice 100% to that model. I know he took liberties with maybe the color correction, but that's a render. I know that, like, for example, the definition of the muscles, maybe that wasn't given when you look at the character on the show or on the comic books, but you can understand that this is a three-dimensional image also. You're not going to be printing on paper, you're going to be printing three-dimensionally, so it makes sense to have definition on things that in natural life have definition. I love that model. That's another, for me, that I would put an LED light, like a very cold blue, people call it baby blue, teal, whatever you want to call it, something that basically just surrounds the character to bring the sensation of coldness. It will look amazing. I appreciate what AJ says, that the pic doesn't do justice to the scale of the bear. I agree. It's going to be very, very, very cool. I mean,
things are always bigger than they look. Oh, and it's going to be even better.
Keep in mind, if you're new to 3D printing, these are renders. These are basically images that are manufactured on the same program that all the models are captured, created, and it's just a visual representation of what the finished model should or will look like if you went that route. But that's what I mentioned before. If you want to paint Mr. Freeze pink, go for it. Nobody's saying that it's wrong. I say it's wrong. No, my point is, these are just representation of the models, and doesn't mean that they have to look exactly the same. And it's just what the artist, in this case Eddie, or when it's a make on model, they're just trying to bring a visualization of what the model is going to look like when it's done. Based on that, I mean, it's up to you to do modifications later on how you paint it. I have seen the other day somebody painted Catwoman orange, and I was like, this is weird. No, but wait, maybe. And there's a place for everything, because it's an artist's interpretation or a version. Maybe you just want to be fun. God knows there's a million suits for Spider-Man, a million suits for Superman, a million suits for any character of a comic book or an anime or cartoon or movie or whatever, and that's fine. If you want
Everything can be
to
stylized
agree,
in your own direction, the way that you see it, the way that you imagine it up here, whether you're visually seeing it or if you're some people are colorblind, they
yes,
see it in black and white basically only. So it's like whatever color you really want it to be, make it that way. That's what makes each painting, unique and different.
well, also there's a technique of photography where basically you leave everything black and white, but one point has color. And
Mhm.
what's to say, for example, you print a Batman black and white, well, you printed, you painted on grays and blacks and some whites, and then just the logo is yellow, you know. And
Again.
I come from a background of photography, so for me, this is basically to just um, put the focus of something in the eyesight of the viewer. So yeah, it's very interesting, I think.
No.
But we're getting out of topic. I think rounding it up, I think that Eddie did an amazing job with Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
It looks
And
awesome,
I
and
gotta
his
say
style
the
on this is
thing.
on point. I think that he did a great job with his style and keeping it as original as possible.
All right. So what I'm about to show now, you're not gonna see much. It's gonna be blurry, and I did it intentionally because it's a work in progress, but we promised you two Mr. Freeze models, and Eddie was showing me where he was going with it, and since we have some things to tweak, things to add, things to change, I didn't want to full on show it until it's fully ready. So I've blurred the image. That way you can still see it and get the general idea of what it's going to be without actually seeing it, because some of the stuff in the photo is not 100%. Some of it's what I added, changed to show him the direction it should go. So let's take a peek at that, which is this. Which it's, as you can see, it's blurry. What I will say is this case that you see behind. Oh,
I know where it is. I haven't seen this image by the way, but I know exactly where it is.
that's going to be Nora Freeze.
Yeah.
I won't deny that from anybody. So you're going to have a three-bodied diorama with Freeze, Batman, no polar bears this time, but instead you'll get Nora Freeze back here in full size. And then again, this isn't 100%. I had
Scale.
I had to change some of the things to make it showable,
Right.
because of the changes that we're going to make. But he sent me a pretty good block out, and all I'm going to say without telling details and giving it away is Batman is going to have two suits options.
And I know which one is. I'm gonna shut up.
What I
Because I'm
want,
an Batman, that's why I know what he's talking about. But I understand something, guys. I mean, the conversation between Macon, Eddie, and Jordan is that. Then Jordan has a conversation with each of them about models, and then with AJ about how to support, and a completely different conversation with me about this, the stream, or the few changes that we can make to the pattern to make it better for all of us.
Right.
But I'm not participant on the creative process.
Mhm.
He shows me a few advances. I might suggest a few things that might or might not get modified, but a lot of things go, and I have no idea. I knew that there was going to be a second model of Freeze. I didn't know what it was, but just seeing the image, I know that what you're saying is going to be huge. Having the three models is going to be amazing, and the chance of having two suits.
Because I haven't shown you, I'm actually gonna while we're sitting here. That way you can see it. People can kind of see your reaction to it. This is the unblurred photo for you only. I just sent it to you on Messenger. That's
Okay.
I could take it off without the beam that I added. That way you could kind of see. But
I want my printer back.
it's gonna be awesome.
Dude. So understand something. My printer, the screen broke, so I had to replace and I haven't installed it because I'm through a process of moving countries, so I don't want to do anything related to that. I'm gonna sell the printer, so I'm trying not to get tempted and print stuff because I have nowhere to put it on a suitcase to travel 10,000 kilometers. So yeah, basically I just saw that and I so want to print it right now. I'm a huge fan of Freeze. His story for me is one of the most tragic stories in any comic book in the world, in the history of comic books. And that's just insane. That concept is insane. And that made me very happy.
Oh, where did it go?
I know that I try to go by all the comments, guys. If I don't do it all the time, don't worry. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to continue the conversation too. I'm going to go back and read a few of the comments here to see if there's anything worth mentioning. Everything is worth mentioning, but if I can answer or Jordan can answer right now, we'll do it. So
I don't know. You were looking down when I'm
I'm
teasing.
looking. I have my MacBook in front of the.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just people. I've been sending those cryptic messages out all week, so I just flashed 2 pictures real quick, just to upset people. Not to upset them, I should say, but you know. Dang, AJ.
You have a question. You have a question, yeah. AJ, stop bugging us.
Take my glasses off. Oh, did you see reflections? No, you didn't. Oh,
what?
They said to take. Somebody's looking at. I don't. We're both wearing glasses, but he said if you're going to be secretive with pics, take your glasses off.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm like, oh shit! I forgot. They're just stop cheating.
Okay. Anyway, I'll look at another screen when there's no reflection. Okay, so let me go back on a few messages here. Joaquin mentioned, rest in peace, Chris Christopherson. Looks just like him. Macon did an amazing job with Whistler. I'm gonna bring that up now, Jordan. I was talking with Jordan now, a few minutes before we started. I want to bring attention to the extreme work that both Eddie and Macon have been putting these past 3 months on keeping up with everything that they've been providing on models. It's not easy to juggle life and family and daily day crap, and also work on highly detailed models to provide them on a specific date. I think that although it caused a lot of problems the past few months, the changes on Patreon in the sense of when we deliver the models, having the whole month for them to work on the models and being able to deliver in the last day of the month, it will be very, very inefficient. But I want to bring attention to both Macon and Eddie, and literally just cheers, guys. You guys have been doing an amazing work on these models. It's been insane. So I mentioned to Jordan before the stream, I want to say something about it because for me, it's worth mentioning. You're getting extreme quality models that are not easy to make, and they're so faithful to the original material, the original source. So, I am asking you to, when you can, send them a message and say, hey, good job this last month, because it's worth being thankful.
So they can see a lot of the comments on Patreon too. So if y'all ever are complimenting, render pictures, they can see those. Speaking of artists, to show a little appreciation for them, I had messaged both Eddie and Macon the other day, and I want to introduce a new tradition. And what we're going to do is we're going to do Artist Appreciation Month every April. It's going to be the month that they get to make what they want, but also based on what you guys want. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 separate polls, one for Eddie, one for Macon. They're going to give me suggestions of models that they would like to make, and then we will add those to a poll, and we will let you guys vote on what you want to see them do. That way you get a say, kind of, but they also ultimately get to make what they want without any restrictions, without any art direction from me, changes, blah, blah, blah. It's just like whenever Macon did his Kaiba and Blue Eyes, that was just free reign. His Jon Snow with Wolf, that was all him. Like, I had no input on those because those are things that he wanted to do. But we figured at least once a year, it's just going to be them. We're not going to pull anything from the request or suggestions or any of my ideas or anything that we've heard along the line. It's just what they would like to make. That way they don't feel very what's the word? Work machine. They don't feel very where they just feel more appreciated. They feel more included and don't feel so much like they're taking orders from a boss, but more of just free reign of this is what I want to make. I hope everyone loves it. And you guys have been sticking around for a while, so I think that you'll be okay with whatever it is that they make because they tend to put their heart into it, even if they don't like it. Little secret: Eddie hates doing these monsters, but he is doing it because you guys have been wanting it. And that is kind of the reasoning behind kind of wanting to wrap it up. He's ready to get on to other things, which personally I am too. I'm not personally a fan to care about them. It was based on what you guys had requested, so I figured it would be good to just start slapping them out there, which is why we're doing 2 more. So that will lead us into a little bit of the future here. We put a poll up to do the last 2 monsters and said that the 2 with the highest votes will be the next 2 that we do, and they will be the last 2 we do, at least for now. And when I say at least for now, we're going to have 6 months or so where you're not going to see a monster being made because we want Eddie to start getting on a train of different things. And so since we're on that topic of monsters, it looks like the 2 that have won were Phantom of the Opera as number 1 and then Bride of Frankenstein. So those will be the last 2 that we do for a little while. I don't want to put a timestamp on them due to what we have coming in January, which we'll get into in a minute. But I do know that Eddie is going to do. I really don't want to talk about it because it's something I proposed to him well before October, because it's New Year, new things, but it's in the animated series lineup. But let's just say it's going to be a dynamic duo, and I'll leave it at that. And then if he's got the time to do that, he will do one of those monsters. If not, we'll continue the monsters in February and have them wrapped up by March. But our goal is to ultimately, by Artist Appreciation Month, let them move on to other things. But should we go ahead and show them the one model that is done for January? That way they can get excited.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Tina here asked me to show the shirt that I'm wearing, and I'm having trouble with the stupid camera. So give me 1 second. I'll do this and let you be.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's
so
fantastic.
This is Father's Day present from my niece and nephew. Not my kids, but they are my sisters, and they gave me this for Father's Day, and I love it. I have a bunch of Batman t-shirts. These are the 3 Jokers. If you haven't read that comic book, focusing. I really recommend that you do. It's an amazing story, and it tells you a lot of how the world is working right now for comic books and for movies. So when you see a movie, for example, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, part 1 or 2, doesn't matter. The first time that you go into that movie, you have no idea why they're calling this guy the Joker, because he's just a depressed guy. Read this comic book. You will understand that there's different versions of the Joker, and you have the crazy version. I'm not going to talk about it. Go find the comic book, read it. You're going to love it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Now, if we're going to show off shirts, I got to show mine.
All right.
This is one of our models. I took the render and I sublimated it with some blood splatter. And I don't know if it's reversed on the video or not, but
Sparta Never Surrenders.
That's right. Sparta Never Surrender. And it says Vengeance Studios going down the sleeves. And then back when, we had our old logo. Oh, no, maybe I didn't put it on. Nope, I guess I did. Yeah. It's on the back. Oh, yeah, it's on the back. I don't know if can you see it?
Yeah, I see it now. Vengeance Studios.
Yeah, it's the old logo with some blood. But, yeah, that was... I've made a couple shirts with our models on it. Just I think they're really cool. It was something I wanted to start doing with the Patreon as part of like free giveaways every now and then. But trying to ship to other countries is not cheap. So I haven't really jumped on that venture. And I haven't nailed the perfect shirt yet.
I'm going to bring up a comment and maybe you can answer it, Jordan. Schwakil asked, if Phantom wins for the monsters, will it be Lon Chaney or Clone Reigns version?
No comment. And I say that because
this is the guy that spreads the word about secrets like if it's wildfire. But when he's asking about a secret, No comment.
Well, I'm just saying no comment because I haven't discussed with Eddie yet which one we're gonna do, which one he would feel more comfortable doing. Because Eddie's not. This isn't any disrespect to him. He knows this. I know this. We've discussed it multiple times, but his likeness is not up to perfection. So we're going with whatever he feels the most comfortable doing. So that is my answer. My answer is yes to that question. I thought I saw.
I'll bring this up very quickly. Remember that in Discord, I set up a few channels for you guys to basically, do suggestions. I want to clarify a few things because I think that people are getting confused. If you see on Discord, on the very bottom, it says fan channels, and it says music suggestions, movie suggestions, TV shows, and video games. That's just for that. Like, if you have a band that you want to suggest, bring in on music suggestions. If you watch the movie and you're like, this movie is awesome, I want to share it with the guys on VS3D, suggest it there. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that that's going to get done as a 3D model.
Right.
It may, but it's not the purpose of the channel. These are fan channels. Okay. Yes. On the other one that says more suggestions, on the one on top that says more suggestions, that's where you go with your suggestion for a more specific. But the one was just to have fun. Like, for example, I've been talking about. Jordan interrupted me before because I was watching the second episode of Dexter Origins.
Wait, the second episode's out?
Yep. And on Sunday there's going to be another, I think. So basically, you can converse about shows and TVs and music, whatever you guys want, but do it on the fan channels, and the suggestions, put them on the suggestion channels. Right. But do not leave the general channel just for nothing. Like, if you have any questions or you want to get to know us or whatever it is, that's the general for. Or you can send us a private message. That's fine. We're happy to answer whenever we have the chance. We are all busy. Everybody, every single one of us. Not the channel, you guys too. But we try to be as polite and as prompt as we can. But yeah, suggestions for specific things on Go Suggestions. If you have anything about your life that you enjoy and you want to share on the other channels, go on the fan channels, and under that you have it. I hope it makes sense.
Oh, all right. Well, I think I'm tired of holding my. Hold on. I gotta find. Hang on. I'm so excited to show this. Like, what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. You'll understand why. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. Okay, so this is back to January. So Macon, I don't want to say rush this, but I told him if it was possible to get me an image by tonight, that would be awesome. And he did more than that, and he sent me all the renders. And we have not announced this. We haven't discussed this. I don't even know if it's still in the model suggestions since I wiped them clean and restarted them. But it was in the original ones, and it had a lot of hearts, and it was requested damn near 2 years ago, and we're finally getting around to it. It's not going to be a huge lineup, but it's going to be, I want to say, at least 5 characters, and I think it's going to make a lot of you giggle. It's going to tickle your giggle berries a little bit, and here's my hint before I show it: is it's a unit, or at least there's supposed to be a unit, is what I'll say. Okay. Let me see if anybody can guess it before I show it. Can we?
No, I don't want to say anything about it. I'm just going to say something very, very small. Once again, give it up for Macon because, like he said, yes, he asked him for one image, and he sent all the renders of something that we haven't even finalized discussing. Mm-hmm. So, and the guy is he's working full time and he's moving houses. That's correct.
He's working on it. Slow process.
Okay, so busy schedule, and he has a way to give himself the time to provide with this. And honestly, it looks amazing. Go at it.
Well, I don't want to show it yet. I want to see if anybody in these comments can guess what it was based off of my comments.
But it's too small. I mean,
Okay, I know who I am. That's all. That's number 2. Or
but if you have to get more accent.
I'm a lead
More
farmer,
accent.
motherfucker. Nope. Starship Troopers is not correct.
Not correct.
I don't think
Good
there's
idea.
any lead farmers in Starship Troopers.
There's someone who is not what he shows he is.
He's a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
That's too much.
No, nope. Howling Commandos. Nope.
No. Yeah, Right Vein. No, not 18.
Nope.
What the fuck? 18, Stuart, come on. Pitiful.
No, pitiful.
I
mean, I want to say he's kind of on the right track.
Oh, good job, James.
Hey.
Of course, it was you.
James got it. May I present to you all Kirk Lazarus, a.k.a. Sergeant Lincoln Osiris. From Tropic Thunder. One of the best movies ever made.
I think that it is so much fun. This movie is super stupid. It doesn't hold against any other movies of that year, but it's so much fun. And everybody sold it so well, like the actors. I found that the movie being very conveying of what Hollywood probably is. I've never been part of Hollywood. But I assume that it's as elitist and that they're all so full of themselves, and the model itself is amazing. It's literally just the guy put a transfer paper on the screen, watching the movie, and just draw on it. It's insane. Look at the likenesses. I mean,
it's supposed to be a unit. You can suck my unit.
The movie is a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
It's very.
If you haven't watched Tropic Thunder, it's about a group of Hollywood actors that are basically put in. They're filming a movie, and the production basically saying, "Well, you're not working as a team. You're not working as a unit. So we're going to force you to." And they put them in a jungle, basically to face dangers and start learning how to behave as a unit. But none of these guys are experienced in weaponry or tactics or anything. They're just actors. In this case, for example, I
Robert
think it's
Downey Jr. playing a Australian actor, playing a black actor.
Yeah,
a black.
He went through skin pigmentation just for the role. That's how far he takes his acting, because he's not an actor; he's an actor. Ben Stiller, for example, complaining to his agent that he doesn't have TiVo. TiVo was a platform where you could watch TV and skip the commercials in the middle of the jungle. So they're all full of themselves. They just want to, show their faces for 5 minutes and get 17 Oscars. It's so well done. It's a stupid movie, but it's a lot of fun. It's not a waste of time. So watch the movie if you have the chance, and or at the very least, just watch some YouTube trailer or something.
It's one of those movies that if they tried to make it today, it would not get greenlit because
no way.
The controversy of blackface. Some of the jokes. It's very very early 2000s, I should say.
The movie has Tom Cruise on a role of a Jewish guy that has a lot of money, and his role alone would put the movie past an R rating. It's insane. I never saw so much cussing from Tom Cruise before.
He said, I want you to He said, I want you to take a step back and fuck your own face.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible movie. It's a lot of fun, and please don't watch it with kids. Don't watch it with people that are having issues with bad language and stuff like that, because they are going to get offended. There is some racism, not on your face. It's used as a joke, but I'm just warning you. It's an adult movie, not because of sex, but because
don't let your kids watch it.
Yeah, but the model itself, I mean, again, Macon, you fuck, you are simply amazing,
dude. The detail, I was zooming in and looking at his face, And it is like you can see Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Yeah.
That's what, like, I'm gonna pull this back up. Like, look at this. Like, even especially the one with the glasses, because it's kind of like that Iron Man-ish look.
But I mean, when you see this face, I mean, you see this model and you see that face after you see the movie, you know that he uses that exact same gaze.
Mm-hmm.
The look of his eyes is exact as what he portrays on the movie. That's what I was saying. The maker used transfer paper from the TV into his laptop, pretty much. It's insane. There's a comment here from Stuart that basically says another classic is Shaun of the Dead. Yes, I agree. I would love to have that done. Put on the suggestions, guys. Any ideas that you have, put on the suggestions. We'll see. We don't promise anything, but put them there. He doesn't want it. Zombies.
I'm not. I tried. I wanted to like Shaun of the Dead so bad, and it was just one of those dry comedies. I think I laughed 3 times out of that almost 2 hours of the movie. And
that's because you're from Korea and you don't understand British humor. That's why.
Right. That's right. That's why I like the American version of The Office better than the British version. My wife hates that I haven't seen all that yet, but let's just say Kirk Lazarus is just the start of this. And yes, there will be a Les Grossman because that's. I mean, we got it.
He has to be there.
I think we're gonna do Jack Black or Ben Stiller next. I haven't discussed it fully with Macon. Just I knew that I wanted to either start with Ben Stiller or Robert Downey Jr. That way, people would know exactly what it's from and not have to second guess. But I didn't want to bust out the big guns or the big arms, fat hands of Tom Cruise, immediately. So I figured that could either be the finishing lineup, or
I think that at that point, if you were to tell everybody that you're making Tropic Thunder and by using the first image as Les Grossman,
right,
it will be very niche for a lot of people.
Right.
But the character of King Carey, that is just is what it was out there. You can find the movie on cable. You can find it on streaming. I mean, it's been like, what movie the year came out? 2006, something like that?
I think it came out in 2008.
Okay. So it's been almost 20 years on it. It's been around, and it's a great movie. And I think that the right way to sell this to all of you was to show Robert Downey Jr. He's the best example of that movie. Yes, you can have Jack Black, but Jack Black is pretty much just, personally, I found it like repetitive he's on everything. I saw a comment the other day on Facebook saying, indication of a movie I will not watch, and it has a picture of The Rock, Jack Black, and what's the name of the short guy that's always with The Rock? Kevin Hart. Those three, and every time that those three are in a movie, you avoid the movie to hell and you wait until it's on stream. I would not pay a dime to go to a theater and sit for 2 hours to watch those three.
I would.
Again, it's you.
I would pay 2 dimes and watch those movies on repeat as long as they didn't play Shaun of the Dead.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, the Rock is the same character, and so is Kevin Hart, and so is Jack Black. I do feel like they're the same character in most of their movies, but I do like Jack Black in Shallow Hal. That's probably my favorite Jack Black movie.
I like Jack Black in Tenacious D because I watched Tenacious D on HBO when it came out. And for me, that was special. The music was amazing. And I think that the movie did a lot of justice to what Tenacious D was supposed to be. And it has amazing music. They're all playing their real instruments. That was my favorite movie. And I think that that's the best example of Jack Black. School of Rock also, but it gets too in the nose for me. There's a lot of platforms where you can watch the movies for free. I'm not going to bring it up now because I don't want you to tag me as a pirate. Let's bring it back to what we were talking about before. You all like the model, I know it's amazing, and we cannot wait to bring on this about it. What else do we have for January?
All right, so I wouldn't say it's for January.
Okay,
because we do know. Oh wait, no, there's one I did not mention that we were going to do for January.
It's an important one. It's something that we were talking about in the last stream also. As one of those movies that we would like to do.
I'll just pull it up because I forgot that I saved that picture.
Yep.
it saved a little bit below all those, but so Macon did Kirk Lazarus, and the other one that he is going to do is Hacksaw Ridge. We're going to do the cover. I don't know what the base is going to look like yet. With his head kind of down at that angle, it is still going to be Andrew Garfield, but this can also double as any kind of veteran type of gift for somebody if you'd like to share, if you know somebody who is a veteran or who has done military appreciation, anything of that nature. This could be a really cool gift to them. I think we will have the Hacksaw Ridge logo on the base, but then I think we'll do an alternate version where it's not on the base if that's the purpose that you want, is for gift purposes or to give to somebody as a commemorative type of item. That way it doesn't have to be a movie statue, but it could just be, you know, like a standard police statue or firefighter statue. So it'll kind of double as something like that, but also be in the movie realm, because and if you have not seen that movie, dude, I'm telling you guys, watch that movie. It will change your life. It's so good.
If I'm not wrong, the movie is right now streaming on Max. I'm pretty sure about it. I want to make a mention of something that is a color topic. I know a bunch of you do sell your models. Mm-hmm. This will be a real opportunity, for example, to either sell or gift a family member or a friend or somebody that is involved with the army or you know the service. Maybe not for them, but maybe they want to make a present to somebody that was injured, right, or was involved in all this. So I'm talking about a sensitive topic here, but there's also a reality that everybody that is trying to make money can use a model like this. Right. Obviously, don't treat it as the cold harsh money, but see it as an opportunity. The same, for example, if you're gonna go to a comic book convention, bring Mr. Freeze. It makes sense, right? But I'm trying to show you that there's utility on certain models that maybe they are a bit more personal to us, like movies that we like. You can find utility on that because you might be able to help represent something to those who actually are involved with that in some or other way. That's what I gotta say about it. I think it's a great movie. And, it's a cool story. It's a real story.
It's directed by Mel Gibson. This is what makes it even cooler. Is I don't think I've ever seen a not good Mel Gibson directed movie yet. But after Monsters, I'm sure it's burning in all of your hearts. What are we going to start doing once the Monsters are done? It's going to be great. Because we're going to take a different route, because we've been doing movie lineups. We've been doing old school classic lineups, animated lineups. So this one, I wouldn't really call it a lineup, but it is going to be a short-ish lineup, because I want to say there's going to be 4 and then a little bit more after that, but that will be like a diorama. We'll discuss that later. But what we're going to start doing as soon as those 2 monsters are wrapped up is we're going to start doing, and I wasn't going to go into too much detail, but we're going to do some GTA main protagonist models. For those of you who are familiar, you may know the Claude dude from GTA 3. No one knew his name. He didn't speak in the game, but he's got a cool little look. Looks like a blocked out gangster. What we're going to do is we're going to try to keep it in the same style that we remember it. So
as easily as possible.
We're not going to make a GTA 3 model look like it was out on PlayStation 5. We're going to make it look like it was on PlayStation 2. Black hands, like the whole graphic is going to be dumbed down. So it may seem like it's a crap cheap model, but you're going to go, holy crap, like that's literally like what he looks like on screen with his clubbed up hands and, blurry kind of face a little bit. I mean, a little bit of good facial feature, but not perfect. Blocked ears, things of that.
And you have to make it, we probably have to make it with a rocket launcher. Or maybe a different option for different weapons. But rocket launcher is, for me, the best thing on that character. I think that then we're going to continue with Tommy Vercetti from Vice City.
Yep. But again, I don't want to go into too much detail with that lineup, but that's the gist. And as long as you guys are down for it, we'll continue with the plan that we have. If we start to see a lot of interest being lost in it, we may veer off and come back to it just to keep your attention. And then because when we start something, we got to finish it. We don't want to be one of those people who start something and then give up just because. And that's why I said that we're not permanently done with the monsters. We're just done with the monsters for now. Because by the time we get to these other 2, that'll be 6 of them that we've done. And Eddie's been busting butt on these animated series models. So we want to keep the artist happy while keeping you guys happy. So this is what we're going to do is we're just going to start floating around. Yes, Tina, exactly. Low poly. So it'll look cool. And as each one comes out, it'll look a little bit better. But this is all stemmed off of, I guess I'll just go ahead and say it was all stemmed from the trio trilogy of
Franklin, Trevor, and Michael.
Franklin, Trevor, and Michael. That somebody proposed a while ago as a GTA diorama. So we figured instead of just bursting out the gates with the new and glorious, we'd go back to some PS2 days and work our way to those high quality, better looking ones. And this one will be worked on by both Macon and Eddie. That way they both kind of tag team this lineup and give you guys something really cool to make. And if you have the PS2 game case, it'd be really cool to display these characters next to those cases.
Put the character inside, like keep it open as a book and the character in the one.
You do all sorts of stuff.
But yeah, there's going to be the main characters of each of the games, starting from 3. Again, 1 and 2 didn't have main characters because it was a car being from the top. But we got Claude, we got Tommy Vercetti, then we have CJ from San Andreas. Then we go into 4, who was Nico. And then we go into 5 with Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. Honestly, I'm stoked about this. It's one of my favorite games, game lines. I'm very upset that in the Game Awards the other night they didn't show anything about GTA. Mm-hmm. But it's a game I'm looking forward again. Not so much for the online content, but I really care for the story missions on all these games. And I think it's a good way to get to that. We have no idea when the game is going to be released. Right. But, eventually we might do the brothers. I can't remember the names of the protagonist of the new game. Brother and sister. We don't know, but this is a good adventure where both artists are going to be involved with their own styles and respecting the original styles of the games.
Right. Let's see. December. Oh, and if anybody's still trying to sign up to Golden Wheel, it's not too late to do that. We're going to do that here shortly before we wrap the video up. You can get in, and then once we've done our spin, then you can back out, whether you win or lose, or if you'd like to stick around, you can. So go ahead, hop in there, or don't. It's completely up to you. I hope y'all like my hat. I tried to get festive since it was a Christmas video. Tried to do it.
My co-host here didn't inform me. Hey, wear a hat. So
all those cryptic messages for that. Hey, I'm
Oh my god.
liking these comments though, where somebody said the video scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, you startled me too because I was talking, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, shut up now.
That's what I was
Um,
here for. I wanted to just interrupt the program for this special breaking news of not I won't okay, so I was been trying to think of how to word this, and I think the simplest way to do it is Patreon has had problem after problem after problem in terms of giving people access to things that they should have access for, with payments being denied. Like just today, I was having the issue with uploading that video. Like I can't see it on my end, but people are saying it's there. So I know it's showing, but I'm not seeing it. And I don't know why. I'm struggling to get responses from Patreon whenever I message them. So I was looking for a new outlet, and that's when Max decided to bring up My Mini Factory. And I knew about it. I have used it to purchase models. It pops up in a lot of Yegi searches when I go to look for 3D models online. I'll find a lot of them leading me to My Mini Factory. I'm sorry because I'm reading a comment. I told you it's not what any of you are expecting or thinking. Somebody brought up mountains. That wasn't even my idea. The mountains was just for a visual representation, and it just became a thing. So I ran with it. You're welcome, and I'm sorry. But no, it was.
you have so many people to pay for the endless and constant. You have to understand, I have notifications on the Patreon app, and it was constantly like this and this and this. I was like, oh my God, Jordan, what the hell? And he then sends me the entire schedule for the week of all the posts that he was going to make about it. I was like, God damn it. So I knew about it before. Yes, like he said, I brought it up. There are reasons. I mean, it's not only
Right.
the fact that issues with payments, issues with delivering of the models, issues with new subs, old subs, or whatever. It's also the comfort. I mean, having the certainty that it's not a popular platform like Patreon is. Patreon serves to every single venue of creativity that you can imagine. So you craft purses, you can have a Patreon. You want to talk about, I don't know, the lint inside your belly button, you can have a Patreon too.
Right.
And it gets a bit busy to find what you're looking for. For me to find a 3D creator that does statue size, 3D prints, it's a pain in the ass. So usually what I do is I go to Cults, I go to CC Trader, and if I find something that I like, I'm like, oh, does this guy have a Patreon? I go to Instagram, oh, do you have your fans on Patreon? And it gets convoluted. Sometimes patrons stop opening the subs to new people because it's getting out of their hands. And I am part of other patrons. Many of you know that I have a lot of patrons. And a few of them started to offer their creations. They deliver them through itch.io, My Mini Factory, and other places. I always liked My Mini Factory because it's a convenient place. You can have your sub there, and once you get the reward, the model, at the same time you have it right there too, and you don't lose it. So there's not a problem with it's not the case for our Patreon, but for many others is, which is if you have some sort of like, I don't know, nudity or controversial topic or something that Gumroad doesn't like, they tell you take it off or you're breaking the bylaws of Gumroad, and they ban you, and you cannot make money, but they still charge you. So that's kind of shitty, and I'm sorry for the word, but it is. Everybody's trying to make some money one way or another. I didn't approach 3D printing to make money. I approached 3D printing because I love the arts.
Same.
And for me, it's a way of expression. So when I started noticing that not only one Patreon, but two, but 10, we're having issues with the Patreon platform. And then with the Gumroad platform, I was like, well, this is stupid. And I was looking at My Mini Factory, and it works there. So talking with Jordan a few weeks ago, I was like, have you thought about this? Because basically it will solve all the issues that we've been having with, the payments and the delivery of models and subs and all that stuff. And everything is much clearer. It's more convenient. You have to go to one place to find everything that we release. Or if you want to sub to other creators that may or may not be on My Mini Factory, that's a good way too. I know that it's convenient for Patreon that you have all your patrons on one column on the side.
Right.
You can have it here too. The difference is that rather than being, I follow the Patreon of VS3D on Patreon, you will join the tribe of VS3D in My Mini Factory.
Yes.
So I'll let you talk a little bit about this. I really need to use the restroom.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna kill my camera 1 second, or block me out wherever you want. And when I come back, I'll explain my experience because I'm going to join. I haven't done this. I'm gonna join the tribe of VS3D with you guys live. Okay, so give me a few minutes. I'll be right back.
All right. So I will go ahead and pull it up full screen. That way you guys can kind of see here what you should be seeing on the screen in just a second, because there's a slight delay. There's 3 tiers, which are exactly the same as they are on Patreon. We didn't want to make it confusing. You'll see here that there's a $12 tier. We're going to go ahead and limit that to 150 people. And then we have the Vengeance tier for 16 and Golden Vengeance for 25, which is the same exact. There's literally nothing different. I even use the same photos. That way, you could see it's the same exact thing. It's just taking Patreon and Gumroad and rolling it into one, essentially, where you're going to get here, I'll keep Max halfway on the screen. You're going to get the same benefits, the same everything. Nothing's going to be different other than instead of a Patreon subscription, it's a tribal subscription. You join the tribe, you get the same rewards. And if I'm not mistaken, we get to go back to not having to release at the end of the month. We might be able to go back to releasing when a model is done. That way you have stuff to print during the month versus trying to play catch up or just waiting for the end of the month for one specific model. You might be able to get it way earlier, hopefully. That's our plan. I've discussed this with the team. Everyone is on board. We're not going to make anyone jump over immediately. We want this to be a nice, smooth transition for those who would like to move. If you do not want to move over, you do not have to yet. We're going to kind of play it by ear. From now until June, we plan to keep both live and going and see how well we can build up the tribe over on My Mini Factory. If you decide, hey, let's give it a shot, and you're like, I've already paid for this month on Patreon, I don't want to double pay, let me know that you've moved over, what your name was on Patreon. That way I can refund you on Patreon so that you're not double paying. Nice leg there, buddy.
Sorry.
No, good.
To the wife and the daughter because they came to say goodnight.
Everyone's looking at your short shorts. There you are.
You want to see it? You can.
No, thank
All
you.
right. So this is not like you probably mentioned this. I was in the restroom. Sorry for that. The idea is not to force anyone. It's to basically show that
there's other options.
There's other options, and the best way to show you this is by actually me being the sacrificial bunny or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to pay my money, to join the tribe. So you can see the works of how everything works, how you receive, a model at the end of the month, how you can download it, other stuff. And it's so simple. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. In 1 second. All right. Here we go. Let me know if you can see this, Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, you're up.
Okay. So I'm going to go and basically explain a little bit. So if we go to the first page of Tribes, you're going to find something like this. This is the front page. And let's say I know that there's a Patreon that I like, and I wonder, do they have a tribe here? So I search for VS3D. If I write on the screen, it will be better because I'm on a keyboard and I was typing on the keyboard. Give me 1 second. VS3D. There we go. So on VS3D, I have two. There's a lady called Stacy that has lecture models about Pikachu. We don't care about Pikachu, I think. So I'm going to go to VS3D. When I join VS3D, is it still showing? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we go to the VS3D page, we have an about, which basically describes a little bit about what the current plan is, and basically what we already talked about, like how many mods you're going to get, the first month, the welcome pack, and if you continue your subscription, what you are going to be acquiring as in for reward mods. You all know all this. If you don't, I recommend you to read it. It's very simple. There's a bit more description, and I know all this, but then I see the pricing. And you can see that it's pretty much the same. Okay, so right now, currently, I own this one because I care for these ones. I change for this one once in a while to try to do the Wheel of Vengeance. I don't do that anymore. But right now, I'm gonna join the Vengeance tier. So I click on this one, and it's asking me this. Let me see. How can I?
What I can do is I will do that number while you type in your credit card.
Okay, so I'll close my stream for 1 second.
Okay. I was gonna say I've turned your screen off. You didn't have to.
That's fine. I'll stream again. So I'll continue talking. Basically, I'm putting my card information.
Right.
And of course, I don't remember my CVC.
We don't want everybody to steal all of his monies and goodies.
No, please. I don't have much. I need my money. I'm gonna be doing a big move soon, so I need it.
Just do your sign up and then let me know, and I'll pop you back on.
Okay. So okay, go ahead. If you can pop me back on.
You have to hit the button.
Yeah, I'll do it myself. Share screen. Right. So this is what you see after you put your credit card information or debit card, whatever you use to pay. Vengeance, you have successfully subscribed to the Vengeance monthly plan. You have unlocked regular exclusive rewards, first to hear about new content, direct communication with VS3D. To manage your subscription, go to sign subscription. Good. I'm going to close that. And I'm going to see what the hell do they have here, because I want my models. Oh, look, there is a post. Ladies coming, okay? And there's a few images and blah, blah, blah. It's basically telling the same stuff that we just talked about. It's a post that we just made up for you guys. I am not sure if there's a current mod that I can download. Is there?
I have Elf up.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to. That was where my confusion lies because I haven't quite nailed down the site yet.
Okay, but I'll go through the website a little bit. So on the top right corner, you have your profile thing. Basically, you have all your stuff here. I'll go to that in a minute. The first tab that you will see is called Store, and here where we have all the models that Jordan decided to upload. Okay, and you can, similar to Gumroad, you can search. So, for example, if I were to search something like, I don't know, Catwoman, I know it's on the screen, but if I search Catwoman, look, there's Catwoman. Why is Elf showing up? I don't know.
It's because it's a promotion thing. It's
a promotion thing.
Yeah.
Very well. But I want to see, for example, are there any free objects? Yeah. So it doesn't really matter right now. I'm just gonna go to Catwoman just to show what it looks like. And it's very simple. Once this loads, it's going to make sense, and I won't be talking out of my ass without nothing to say. There we go. Okay, so we got the images of Catwoman. Very simple. It loads way faster for me, at least, than Patreon. Especially when you make it full screen. It's just way more convenient. I mean, it's a more pleasant experience. It describes a little bit of what this is. We can make comments. So these products.
Hit the download. See if that'll let you download while we're on here.
Okay.
Because it doesn't say that. So I just want to double check.
Okay. So on this area we have the information, and I'll click the download in 1 second. I just want to go through this because it's for me a very cool thing to have. If some of you care. So we have license. The license in this case says my manufacturer is the license. Blah blah blah. Then we have technical information. They publish how much it costs, more information. All these will be populated eventually. And then we get to object parts. It's telling me all the things that are going to be zipped that you're going to download. How do we download? Well, we click download, okay? And right there in the middle of the screen it says download files, and there's two zip files. The first on top one, it says Catwoman. You put a typo. God damn it.
I didn't put
Yeah,
that.
it says Catwoman, not Catwoman.
It's
And
Catwoman.
it says, it's not really. You need to go back to elementary school.
It's blurry.
Um,
I can't see.
okay, it says Catwoman with E, not with A. Anyway,
That
we got
was
2 files.
actually this is a real one I can blame on AJ, because if it's the pre-supported one, that's on him.
Okay, fine. So we got 2 files, and I'm gonna download it right now. So I click download, and if you look right here, it's already downloading. I don't have to go to another website. I don't have to click one time and then put the promotion code so I don't get charged, and then put my email, and then if I want to tip the person, it's getting very annoying that patrons have not taken the box to tip every single time that you're going to download something on Gumroad. Anyway, I download those files. Okay, so right now they're downloading. I'm gonna keep this open. Well, these downloads, I can close this because I don't need anymore, but we can keep looking around. Okay, so for example, if I go to my thing, okay, I am currently receiving most from other patrons. But for example, when we do get, for example, following, we're going to see all the people that I follow. Okay, and where do we have him? Where do we have him? VS3D right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
after that, you can load money straight to a wallet here if it's something that you like to do. If you're going to buy stuff like from CCJ or whatnot, you can load a wallet here and buy stuff from my mini factory. You can go to your product profile, which is pretty much the same as we saw before. And then I can go to inbox, and it says that I have 4 things. Look at that. Welcome to VS3D Tribe. And it does me this. A bunch of things. I can download my rewards directly from here. Okay. See more from the Patreon. I'm gonna go back. New files available from VS3D. VS3D have released their Tribe monthly files. They are now available and ready to be downloaded from your library. Thank you for supporting. Okay, then we go to Welcome Pack has been unlocked. Okay, and there it is, and I can see all rewards. And hopefully this will load. Okay. Welcome back. Look at that. I'm gonna download them. Look at all this. So you got all the welcome pack in one place. Yes, you have to do one by one, but guess what? You don't have to do it all right now.
Right.
You don't have to occupy the space on your hard drive. You can leave it here. It's free. And when you're ready to print something, you know where to find it. So that, for that sake alone, that's very handy. I'm gonna go back to my downloads folder. This is where I download all my crap. And there's Catwoman. And if I do, for example, let's make a new folder because it's completely stupid. So if I download this stuff and I open it here, and you know the procedure, but basically just to show you that everything is there. Okay. The whole process took me what? Besides having to show you around, it takes like 2 minutes, guys, and that's more convenient. And there's your Catwoman. Okay. So I feel that by comparison with Patreon and with Gumroad, this is more convenient. Not only for you guys, but you have to understand when you have to make a post on one platform and then you have to post the reward in another one and you have to link them and maybe a payment doesn't go through and then you have to investigate why and you get no response from the company that you're paying money to basically host all these things. It gets very annoying. This is all in one place. Okay, so for me alone, I think that is a good solution. Now, I'm done streaming this and I'm gonna close it. So this is personal. I like convenience. I like things that are simple. I found that, for example, when somebody is like, "Oh, you can download this reward," and they send me to Mega Upload, that it takes a lot of the safety that I feel on any other platform because Mega Upload, who knows what you get, or WeTransfer or any other platforms, it gets a bit scary. Not that there's something wrong, but I don't know, and I don't like having to transport from one place to another, and then having 17 tabs open to download one model per Patreon. So having everything there is convenient. It's simpler, it's easy to organize, and you can do the same with Gumroad, where you don't have to download the models right now. But on Gumroad, when you have your library on Gumroad, and I'm going to share my screen one more time. very quickly because I want to show you something. If I go to my Gumroad library, okay, and you're gonna see a lot of stuff once it loads. My point being, when you go to Gumroad and you have to find one file, let's put as an example CA3D, okay? Okay, yes, I can search, but it takes a while, for everything to load, to find the right model, and you're like this and you're like this, and unless you know the name of what you're looking for or the version, because who's to say that they have made a Vi or what's the name of the other person from League of Legends or Arcane or whatever. When you have a model that is repeated like 3 times and you don't know what version you want to download, it's a pain in the butt. I don't know. I think that there's better ways to organize it, and for me, a way to suppress any problem related to payments, which is a serious thing. We take it seriously. We hate having to deal with someone like Mark, not because it's Mark. Don't get me. It's just I'm using as an example, Mark. Please don't be upset. Having to deal with someone like that or anyone that literally cannot download files that he paid for, it feels bad.
Right.
We're trying to be honest here. It's a transaction that we're doing. You pay us an amount of money on the sole promise that we're going to deliver something that you like. So it sucks not being able to fulfill that promise or fulfill that arrangement that we have with each one of you. And it's not that we have 13 people. We have like over 250 people, I believe, that are paying good money, harder money, and they're putting it on us. Thank you, Richard. So yeah, no, I feel that it's more honest to do it this way, where it's more transparent. You get a notification inside my mini factory. You get a notification by mail if you wanted to. I find it useful because I don't pay attention, and then I get an email. It's like, oh yeah, you click on that and immediately I get it. Why is that rat on your arms?
Because he's my little boy.
The one that you scream at when he's barking like a rat.
Yes.
Okay.
By my neighbor's dog. He got a hole put in his shoulder.
Oh,
a couple months ago. He's okay now though.
Poor little rat. Anyway, so the idea behind this is basically just it's kind of like an experiment. I joined basically to show you guys the workings and how easy it is to get something done quickly and effectively. If you guys want this, you are welcome to do it. You explain about the refund in the case of, for example, they don't want to pay again and stuff?
Yeah, somebody had asked in a comment, and so I just said that, basically if you end up double paying, so like if people are wanting to join over, like Richard has already jumped over, Tina has mentioned waiting, about to, and then I want to say one other person did too. Oh, it was you. Like we'll refund you on Patreon if you've already been charged on Patreon. If you haven't been charged, then you just cancel it before your next charge. So we're not going to make sure, we're going to make sure nobody's double paying when they're switching over. So if you join the tribe, we'll refund you on Patreon. Just shoot us a message on Patreon.
Right.
Say, hey, I've joined the tribe on my mini factory, and we'll just click on your name and I'll hit the refund button, and then you can unsubscribe from the Patreon if you like, and then just follow the My Mini Factory page. It's still a work in progress in terms of how the releases work, how the rewards work. So that's why I'm saying if you're not ready to jump until we've got it perfected, that's fine. We're going to post on both from here on out. And that way I can get the groove of how that works, how the launches will work, and if it's subscription based like Patreon is or not. We'll decide on if we have to stick to releasing at the end of the month or if we can get those models to you sooner.
Right.
Like we'd love to just go back to doing that because it was simpler. We didn't feel like we were holding out, making people wait forever. So
I'm feeling sure probably a bunch of you that are on other patrons are dealing with the same stuff. That a bunch of patrons are doing the same thing. That basically you get charged at the beginning of the month, and you have to wait 30 days until you see the model that you pay for.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass, and you're like waiting there. And it's like, come on. You keep seeing posts, and you keep seeing, new renders and teasers of the things that you're gonna get at the end of the month, but it's still like 25 days away, and you want to print it now, And sure, there's a reality that we have creators that they have to take their time to make sure that everything is up to par to what we are selling to you. But the reality is that it's new for us too. We don't know if this is going to work out for us. We don't know how we're going to, the technical aspect of life is going to be more comfortable. This is just something that we're trying out. If you would like to try now with us, that will be welcome. I mean, if you do, we encourage you, we ask you, please share with us everything that you experience, or if you have questions, or if you notice something that we didn't. Share with us. We're talking about Tribe.
Well, one of the
Manufacturing.
asking a question now, was Ghost Rider was asking if he's at like 5 months. Yes, your 6 month thing will carry over. That's not going to change.
Yeah.
You're just switching where you're subscribing to us. That's literally like to put it simply. Patreon to My Mini Factory, it all stays the same.
Right.
Newcomers who are joining us from November and on are on the new reward system, which is the 4, 8, and 12 months instead of 1 through 6 months. We're just getting rid of the confusion of the dioramas and all that crap. We have a model of 40 models that we've pre-selected for 4 months, another 40 models for 8 months, and then the rest of that catalog, which will include dioramas and stuff like that for the 1 year mark. And then starting this year, you'll know when the time comes because I'll announce what model it is, but we're going to start the loyalty rewards for the 1 year members only. Doesn't matter what tier you're in, you're going to get the 1 year loyalty reward, which will be kind of a more bigger, more effort. I don't want to say more effort put in because I feel like these guys put in all the effort in the world into these models, but it's just going to be more something bigger periodically throughout the year. We're aiming for 3 to 4 times a year, because as we have to squeeze these in between the regular monthly releases without, offsetting and becoming late with a month. We don't want to be those guys that are known for releasing models 3 months later for this tier, for this term or whatever. Not to name any names, but I know that's been a thing recently with some. So we don't want to be those guys. We want to be the ones who are releasing on time. We're actually trying to find a way to get ahead of the game. So if we only release 3 models 1 month, just know that it's for good reason and it's to keep us on track. But I think that we've been doing pretty good with not doing a bare minimum of 3 solo museum style characters. I mean, just looking at this month alone, you got to think of that Mr. Freeze with that polar bear. You're getting the Batman and Freeze diorama. You're getting 2 versions of Blade and Whistler and Elf. Technically, that's 6 models. So it's like, that's not.
The important thing is that they are good quality models, and they're respecting what the original piece of work is.
Right.
We're not making a stylized version of everything that we propose to. Stylized has a place on printing, for sure. But it cannot. We're trying to aim for being loyal to the original material. Going back to something that I want to mention, I think that in order to keep it transparent, we might. I will make a post about this on Discord to make it clear. There's a way for you in Patreon to go to your billing and basically get sort of like what was your latest payment, and it lets you download a PDF showing that you paid.
Right.
And we might ask you to send that just to verify that, because there's gonna be 1 or 7 more that was like, I've been a patron of you for the past 7 years. We were here 7 years ago.
All I need is. That's what I'm saying. If they just message us on Patreon and say, hey, I've been a member for X amount of time, I'm now moving over.
We can verify that.
I can just click your name and I can see how many months you've paid and if you were consecutive or not. So it's it's not a stress.
And yes, Levi, no, don't cancel on Patreon just yet. What I recommend you guys doing is, first of all, digest it a little bit.
So that he knows.
First of all, digest a little bit. Give us a week if you want, to make sure that everything that we're trying to do runs. Because again, this is. I'm sorry.
People are already signing up, so I won't tell nobody.
Okay. All right. Do not cancel yet. Just sign first.
Right.
To Tribe. Once you're in Tribe, send a message to Jordan.
Yes.
Both on Patreon and on Tribe, so he knows is this the same person. He can then check how long you've been in Patreon as of DS3D, and basically it's cumulative. Everything that you accumulated on Patreon, you will have it available on Tribes. So it's not restarting your subscription. It's basically moving it from one platform to the other. We just need to know that what you're saying is true. That's all.
Or if you, let's say you message us on Patreon, but your name on My Mini Factory is different. You just need to say, hey, my name in the tribe is this, or on my mini factory is
Right.
this. I just joined. I'm canceling my Patreon now. I just wanted you to know that's why I'm leaving your Patreon. That way we are keeping track. I'm not going to write anything down because I can literally just pull up the screens and look to see the numbers switching. And that's why I said this wasn't going to be a fast transition. Like, hey, by the end of January, everybody get over there. This is like a 1 through 6 months. So like by June, if we see we have way more My Mini Factory members than Patreon, then we'll start to send messages out, make posts like, hey, we're going to start to slowly get rid of Patreon and start moving head forward with just My Mini Factory. But if it stays balanced by mid-year, then we'll just kind of keep both afloat until we know which direction to fully go. And if Patreon continues to have issues, then we'll just have to do a forceful change by the end of this year. That's kind of our plan so that nobody feels rushed. People can kind of play around with My Mini Factory, get a vibe for it, get their feels for it, and see which one they prefer and works the best for them. Right. And hopefully we can either manage both or just pick the one and stick with it. That way, you know, we wanted everybody to know that it wasn't any changes per se. I'll say changes like this because we're not forcing this. This isn't a mandatory thing, but it could become mandatory 6 months from now. You know,
if of the 257 members that we have on Patreon, 250 have moved to tribes, and there's 7 left on Patreon.
Right.
Sorry, we're not going to keep paying Patreon. Exactly. Makes sense. In the last post, if you go to the general talk on Discord, the last post I was talking to Mark about presence here and time zones and whatnot. I made a point saying we do not want misinformation to be the reason for possible issues. I think that this is important. And it's important because we didn't communicate properly and accurately in the past things that we were trying to do. This is, again, we're not enforcing this on anybody. You're free to stay on Patreon, and it's all good. We're still going to be buddies, and we're still going to, shoot the shit here, and everything is going to continue to be normal. The main difference is what platform is going to be more convenient for you, and if you realize after a month, you like, okay, I spent a month in Tribes. I found it more comfortable because I have access to all my files one click away in the same website. Maybe you choose to stay there, and then you can cancel on Patreon if you feel comfortable doing it that way. We don't. When I say we don't want misinformation to be the reason for future issues, is because every time that we propose a change or we talk about something that we're changing on the naming of the Patreon or how the tiers were going to work and etc. A lot of people were not present on the stream. A lot of people completely ignore the continuous efforts of us talking on Discord, talking on Facebook, talking on Patreon, sharing this information. And then sadly people complain and say, I did not know about this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, I understand that you don't want to watch the stream because you have better things to do. Maybe you want to go out with a friend or your girlfriend or whatever it is. Maybe you didn't have the time. Maybe you were working. Maybe you were sleeping. Guess what? Go back the next day and watch it later. But watch it. The information that we're trying to bring on these streams is basically important for a myriad of reasons. It may be for the models. We might discover that maybe a model that we released last month has an issue. And we want to observe that here saying, we apologize for that. We're trying to not do it again. Or it may be because like, hey guys, what do you think about a poll for this? It's for you, because we could just be happy just making models and selling them. But we want this to be a community. So if you don't do your part, which is to be present, because you can, at least try to get the information when you can. Mm-hmm. But don't be obtuse and say, I wasn't given information. Because we're busting our asses to be on all the possible platforms in different channels on Facebook. Where Jordan is probably member of how many groups? 3D printing groups.
On Facebook?
Yeah.
At least 20.
20 different 3D printing groups. There's not a chance that you don't have access to information. I think that the only platform that we're not publicizing right now is X or Twitter. Because, man, I don't think that it's a good interaction with Twitter. But we try to make any information that is important for you guys to know, we try to make it available as soon as possible. Right. And have a conversation about it and to clear doubts. But we need you to participate on this. And it's important that misinformation doesn't become the source of an issue in the future. So, again, we're not forcing anyone to this situation. We're just trying to inform you this is something that we're trying. We believe that it might work better than we currently are, which is very good after all the issues that we had. I think that we're doing very well, but we can get better. And that's what we strive for. If you agree with us and you want to jump in and try with us, welcome. Awesome. We ask you for feedback. That's the main purpose of you joining right now. To tribes. If not, just stay on better until we clear and polish any sort of sharp edges, and we'll let you know.
Right.
But please don't understand that we're saying you join tribes or we kick you out.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
Nope. That's what somebody here said. It was as long as the name and emblem stay the same. They're not going to change, brother. Names VS 3D, emblems VS with the 3D up in the bat logo. Like all that's staying the same. That's why I showed the image with the logo, but then just put tribe underneath instead of the Patreon. And I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the pictures that we've recently been showing, we're getting rid of the Patreon icon just temporarily to just put the VS. And then once we made this announcement, excuse me, the future photos will have a Patreon and a My Mini Factory emblem on there. I might even have to put the full websites just temporarily, just to kind of get the names out there so that people on social medias like Instagram and Facebook can start to see that we're now have a excuse me, My Mini Factory. And because I've had conversations with a few people on Facebook who just do not like Patreon, they won't join, and they're like, it sucks because I really like your models, but I don't trust Patreon. You know, I've been screwed over by Patreon. Never had good luck using Patreon. It was too confusing for them. So we figured, okay, well, if we can get an all-in-one place, maybe, you know, that'll help reach new people and get more people in the community over here to the, you know, we can maybe even bring in a new artist by the end of the year if we can get this tribe to grow. We don't want to go too far into that conversation because that's not a prevalent idea at the moment. Because I think are doing I don't want to say adequate jobs, but fantastic jobs with what they're being given. And they're staying on track. We're not behind on anything. We want to stay that way. So we figured we'll just a slow migration process. Somebody sent a message on Discord. Yeah, Mark's having trouble just messaging on Patreon. So
going back to what I was saying, Patreon in concept was a great platform 15 years ago. You know, but I think that to the point where the money just blur their eyes and they're not focusing on the quality of the product that they're offering. I'm talking the platform, the technology behind it. It's not supporting what Patreon's done. The way that Patreon works is basically, correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, they take an amount of money per month on the amount of subs that you charge money. Is that correct?
Yeah, basically what they do is each month they take a piece of all sales, and then which is I believe 8 or 12% they take, and then there's a transfer fee for when they transfer from their platform to bank accounts. And since y'all know that we are a team here, everything's linked to my account. So when the money comes out, I then have to disperse that between the three of us. And when I send them their money, there's also fees that we're paying on both ends because they're not in the country. So it's not like I can just PayPal friends and family them and nobody gets any fees and we're just transferring easy money. Like there's fees that trickle down, and we're hoping that My Mini Factory is also hopefully going to offer us a little bit better of a deal, because it's a pay by month on our end plus a percentage, but the percentage is lower. So we're hoping that it'll either be the same at bare minimum, you know, at worst case scenario, or it will improve a little bit for us so that it's, you know, we're not getting a fee from this site and a fee from that site and then a fee to transfer, because it's just, it trickles down, and sometimes it's like, wow, like I don't numbers, but I don't know if I have the numbers on Patreon. I think I hid them just because it looks like we make way more than we actually do because of those fees. They don't reflect what we actually get each month.
So the reality is that basically we are getting mocked for money that does not, it doesn't cover what they offer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you cannot reach support and finish and solve an issue that you have. You have very little control on participation. For example, I could not be a moderator or participant of the administration team on Patreon because for that there's another tier much higher than what Jordan is basically paying for, and the numbers are ridiculous. I don't. It's not I don't want to talk about him. I don't know him, but I think that where we are right now, we cannot pay that amount of money to Patreon just for me to be able to be, for example, the person in charge of making posts.
Right.
I could not help that way because to be able to do that, we have to pay so much more money and have an amount of patrons that we simply do not have.
Right.
So it kind of like, for lack of a better words, they put literally like a rope around your neck. It's like, you're going to do it our way and that's it. And you're going to be happy and you're going to smile.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of not smiling. I'm tired of not being able to help as much as I want to, of not being more present because there's no point, because there's a delay. There's no real interaction. Yes, we have Discord, but a lot of people don't like Discord. We have a lot of dead bodies on Discord too, that we have to get rid of. People that do not participate at all. People that have been sitting there just because they joined 3 years ago and they never left. So there's a lot of cleaning up that we have to do, and I think that the base of operations that we're dealing with, in this case, Patreon, and hopefully my mini factory, Tribe, is a much better platform to start with all this process of cleaning it up and making it more efficient. And by making it more efficient, it's less effort for us to attend to any possible issue, solve it, and move on.
Mm-hmm.
And that frees time. Because if Jordan has to spend, I'm sorry, Mark, for using you as an example again, but I know that you were one of the people that when we made the transition on all this, you suffer the most. Yep. Jordan spent days, even if not weeks, trying to solve your issue. And it's not solved. No. And that kills his time, not only for other reasons, like talking with the creators, talking with me, talking with AJ, talking with other patrons, but also time with his family, Especially now in the holidays, that we're running short of time anyway because we travel or whatever. It's hard. So if we can make it more efficient for us, therefore, it's going to be more efficient for you guys. And it's going to be more the efficiency of being able to produce a model, advertise a model, and deliver the model, and not having to be like, oh, my payment didn't went through. Well, what do you mean? And like I see your payment, but the Patreon hasn't given me the money in my bank account. I cannot give you the money. It sucks for us too. And it's not about the money. It's because we have that contract with you. You pay us money, we give you models. When we cannot do that, we feel like we're failing. You and everybody else around, because it's the same problem that could happen not to Mark only, but to everybody else. It wasn't only one person; it was a bunch of people.
Yeah, so I had multiple people messaging me saying that their payments were being denied from just us because they had their Patreon to Wicked, CA3D, all of that was coming out the same day, and he's we're getting told like, but y'all's is being denied, and we don't know why, and there was no control on our end. And whenever I messaged Patreon about it, I got the most generic robot response that I could have gotten to keywords in my questions. And so,
can you turn it off and turn it on again? That was the answer from Patreon.
Basically, so I'm just like, dude, screw it. Like, we need a different outlet. And I feel like my mini factory, sure, it may be a tad bit more expensive on our end, but it's all inclusive. And that kind of goes to with a comment I'm seeing here where it says he does prefer Gumroad as his, repository, since virtually every model he has is there. That's cool. And that's what Gumroad was for. It was to have a place for you guys to virtually store all your models without having to download them. But you get that with My Mini Factory, where it's just there. And then as long as you've been in the tribe, you can just go back in and download it whenever you want, because you've already gotten the reward. It's in your inbox. When you're ready to download it, go click it and download it. So,
and that's the thing, you're going to get notified in a proper way. It's not going to be like that we have to make a post on Patreon saying models are live, just go and download from this link. Mm-hmm. That can happen, but you're going to get notified also by email. So even if you're not paying attention to what happens on Drive, because you don't care, and that's valid, you just want the model, you will get a notification by the end of the month or whenever you get basically the reward. And you can choose to download whenever you want. You don't have to claim it by a certain date. You can wait 7 months to claim a reward if you want to. And it will be available for when you're ready. The problem with Gumroad is also another reality. They have their own bylaws and their own rules. And they play their own game, And I heard of another creator, a guy from Argentina, Nacho CG, that basically he made a model with it was the Bat Family, and it was an error on the render where it shows Batgirl. I don't know if there's a pixel or something that basically pokes out like the shot like that. Gumroad, I don't know if it's AI or what is understood that was a nipple, and they basically banned him from the platform. And he asked his patrons, please go tell Gumroad that that's not the case, and it was a battle of like a month and a half just for one pixel. And when you're dealing with product that you're selling, people are paying money for, you cannot have that kind of issue. And at the same time, it's another expense that we're paying. So he's paying Patreon and he's paying Gumroad, and paying CG Trader or Colts or whatever else Jordan decides to put his models on. So for us, having one platform like My Mini Tribe and have everything encompassed in the same place makes more sense. Sorry, I got Mark. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's super late for you. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a great year. And again, hopefully, every single program we have so far is going to stay there in the past. Have a great night, man. It's hard for me to explain all this without trying to sound like I'm. My purpose is to convince you. I'm just trying to be clear about it. I'm not selling it. I'm just being honest. I think it makes more sense. That's all.
Right. And I think you did a good job explaining it, being the person to bring it up to me, being a already user of it. You're familiar with how it works, and you can, you're basically giving your own testimony for it, which is awesome because, you just did the live joining so people can see. It's pretty simple. It's pretty fluid. It's just like Patreon, except, you can also, you don't even have to be a tribe member if you don't want to. You can just go through and buy the models directly from that site without having to go find them. Okay, I found their Patreon. Now let me go find the link to where they sell the models because I don't want to join because I just want this one. Just go to the dang old library. Boom. Search for what you want.
One thing that you also guys can do if you're not ready to join and pay money for tribes is just follow the channel. Similar to when you join for free on Patreon, and maybe you follow them and you kind of like analyze the Patreon for a month or two to see how they release the models, blah, 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 blah. Do the same for tribes and see what the interaction is, how the models are delivered. And then go back to Patreon and ask people on Discord or whatever, hey, has anybody been trying tribes? How is it? Is it complicated? Is it easy? Talk to each other. It's a community. It's not just us.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to share more if you guys want to, and I hope for your answer. I don't want you to overdo it, but I can show you, for example, what it will look like once you have an amount of different models on tribes. I'm gonna load it just for the sake of loading it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to what's it called? I forgot the word. If you guys don't want to see this is fine. Let me give me 1 second here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna share my screen, and you guys take a look at this very quickly. And for me, that will be it regarding tribes. Are you guys seeing this, Jordan?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, so the way I got here is basically by going to my profile and then clicking on library, okay? So I'll do it again. And basically here, I have every single person that I have received models from, like Acerama, Blockmancer, Choya Factory, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to show you a case of, for example, VS3D, which of whom I have 6 models. So that's your answer, Jordan. Every single model that you release to me, I already have it.
Right, because I have it rewards for.
You guys saw me literally going to my inbox, okay, and clicking on this. Welcome back is available. I click on that, okay, and then after that, when it loads, you can just click on the thing, and guess what? You have it right there. But if you're starting to follow another creator, okay, and this is just for example, I'm not trying to talk about competition, but for example, Erickson, who's an amazing creator, he has all these models, and I can see everything, okay. And it keeps loading and loading. And everything that you received is going to be here. And it's the same situation. You can just click on one and you can just download it. It's as simple as that. And it's there. You guys, it cannot be simpler than that. That's why I made the case of it's a great platform, it's an easy platform, it's convenient, and makes sense for what we do. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah.
So that's my experience with that. I share it with Jordan saying I want to avoid future problems with payments. I want to avoid problems with sharing, and even then, I mean, you have access to see what other creators do. My mini factory obviously focus more into minis. If you like that kind of stuff, you pay Warcraft, you pay Warhammer, you pay D&D, whatever it is that you play, and you need minis. You're gonna find a million creators there, and they charge nothing, like $1 a month, and you have like 75 million minis. But they're all accessible. Just go to the front page and search it, and it's much easier than going to Patreon, explore, and you get to see, I don't know, someone that paints flowers that has nothing to do with what you will do, and you cannot filter it out. You can just write the name, and good luck. And 70% of what you find is not going to be related to what you want to find. That's why I like this other platform. It's more focused. Those are my 2 cents, and I think that Jordan thinks that it could be a good venue, and that's why we are proposing it to you today. We're not forcing anybody. If you are interested, try it out or just follow it. And after you try it out, if you decide to make the change from Patreon, then cancel Patreon, talk to Jordan, and every single month that you commit on your subscription, you will have it accounted for in Tribes.
I was reading a comment here by Andrew who said he was in Tribes for a year before finding Patreon. It's easy. The only drawback is seeing the sheer number of models that he hasn't printed yet.
Yeah, but it's the same if you go to Gumroad. I mean, if I show you my Gumroad again,
Right.
I have probably, I'm not kidding, guys, and this is not to show it up your faces, but I actually follow right now on Patreon over 30 different channels, 30 different patrons. So that accrues to, I have the entire library of CA3D, the entire library of Wicked, the entire library of Berserk, and those are the biggest creators that you can find. And I've been catching up with everybody else. I have over 4,000 models to print. 4,000. Yes, you get depressed, but the cool thing about this, you start with one. Start with VS3D. We have how many models right now?
170, 175-ish.
Something like that. And you know what? I mean, you get them.
Yeah.
But they're going to be waiting for you for whenever. It doesn't have to be now. You don't want to print it this year. You have something more important to print.
Right.
It's there. You want to take a break? Don't worry. Just cancel your picture. Come back 7 months later. They're still going to be there. Because they're yours.
Right.
And they cannot take it away.
All right. I think we should move on to Wheel of Vengeance because it's 10 o'clock. We've reached a 2-hour mark here. We need to wrap this up. I have to get up early in the morning because we're doing our Christmas tomorrow. So, because then we're traveling Sunday. We're actually doing a Christmas here at the house, and we got to go to my mom's and do a Christmas over there with her before we leave town. So tomorrow's gonna be a busy day.
Guys, let's do 5 more minutes for people if they want to change to tiers. Last chance. For those who are new, I have no idea what we're talking about. Wheel of Vengeance is basically you upgrade your tier to the golden tier, whatever the name was. The last tier, the one that's $35, just for literally 10 minutes, and then you go back to the one that you are right now. What this gives you is basically you take part of Wheel of Fortune style of draw, where your name is put on a wheel, it rolls. If your name gets selected, then we roll again for one of 4 prizes. Prize number 1 is you get to create your own model. We make it for you. Number 2 is you get to use another head on a current model that we have. Any head. If you want Jordan's head on, I don't know, Catwoman with the kitties, that can be done. If you want to change a pose of a current character, that's also a possibility. If you want a free month, that's also a possibility. Am I forgetting anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, and obviously the possibility of losing. If for some reason something doesn't go the way that it should, we are going to roll again. Maybe that person, I don't know, we forgot to take him out because he's not part of this month's Wheel of Vengeance. He's going to be removed. And we roll again. But I mean, basically just go to Patreon, go to membership, change tiers for the highest tier for a few minutes. And after the whole process is done, you can go back to your current tier. It's just a few bucks, and it gives you a chance to win some nice presents for Christmas or New Year or next year. Or not, and lose. So yeah, we'll give you I don't know 10 minutes.
Not even like 5.
There you go. He doesn't want to sell.
I'm just tired. I had a
Mike's
few.
on the TV, but I talk too much.
We can join a support group together when you get there.
Yeah, I know. I'm Andrew. I'm actually. I've been thinking about you. No, not weird. You can you remind me what part of North Carolina you are? That's for Andrew Rose. He's
Yeah.
in North Carolina, and I'm moving to North Carolina soonish. So, um, in fact, if it's more comfortable for you, Andrew, send me a message on Discord if you're on Discord or on Patreon. Just write me a message or on Facebook, and we can keep talking later. Um, and that will be good because we can. I want to clear a few things with you if you don't mind. It's basically information about the city and whatnot. This is personal, has nothing to do with Patreon. But when I mentioned last time I was planning on moving to North Carolina, Andrew mentioned I'm from there.
Right.
Yeah, this excites me, honestly, guys. I think that it will be a cool thing to, if it's possible and everybody agrees onto it, on moving from Patreon to Tribes. I think it will be a cool experience.
I say, I don't think people are gonna go, dang, this place sucks. They're gonna go, this is actually
I don't think that there's anything that sucks compared to Patreon.
no.
For the regular user, nothing sucks other than the experience of payment, and that's the part that should not suck.
Right.
Patrons should be very aware of how to do something like this and the possibilities of issues and how to solve them. Not give you a boxed answer. It's like, this is the ticket number for your request. Like, no, I don't care. I'll just fix my issue. I have paying people that are expecting the things that they pay for, and I cannot give it to them because of you. So that's my gripe with Patreon. Okay, so we got Yogi Bear, Romeo G, Stuart, Jesse, John Castro, James Pike, Delirium, Ed, Brian Davis, Juan Carlos, Christy, Chris Codwasser, Richard, Andrew, and The Devil in Details, Aaron Brock, Chuck Rudd, Thorsten Close, Jen X Paints, Nate Moore, Reggie, and Arthur Willis. If you're gonna try to change tiers right now, please send us a message right now here on YouTube so we know to wait for you so we can double check that you have changed tiers.
Say I've got my Patreon window open too. I'm kind of just looking at it and refreshing to see if anybody's getting it.
Yeah, if you do change now, please let us know as soon as possible so we can double check and then we add you to the wheel and then we can do the roll.
All I have is 2 people who've left the Patreon, which is 2 people who subscribed to. Did you already go ahead and cancel yours too?
No.
Oh, that way, do that, and then I'm gonna refund you since you spent money over on the other one.
Sure. Give me one second. No.
Oh, excuse me. Max.
Let's do this. We'll talk later about this, Jordan. Because I'm thinking of like staying until the 31st, and on the 31st cancel it.
Okay.
So for the next few days, if I need to answer a few questions on Patreon, I can.
Right.
Because once I'm out of VS3D Patreon, I will have access to the community.
Sure.
I'll still be in Discord, guys. I'll be in Discord and on Facebook, and obviously on Tribes. But yeah. Anybody else is going to join? No?
I don't see.
I hope you guys are paying attention. We're going to do the Wheel of Vengeance. We're going to do one spin right now to see who is the winner.
Here we go. Oh, I don't have anything to do a drum roll. My desk. That's it. There we go.
You killed everybody with a headset.
Click to spin. Sorry, everybody with your headset.
All right. I hope it's none of the people that have won the past 4 months.
Are you kidding me again?
Nate? Please stop
No.
on Nate. No, come on.
Let's stop on Reggie again.
Dude, this is gonna be broken. Do me a favor. Can you change places, Reggie, with somebody else?
I did. What I did was I went here
Every month.
and did a different sort. I even like
Every month.
3 or 4 times.
It's not changing anything.
Oh wait, oh shuffle. I'm at.
I mean, it's
I just want to see what it does this time.
it's insane that he's been the past 3 months, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
I feel like Reggie and Nate are like the two winners. Yogi Bear.
Richard. Oh, Brian Davis or Ed.
Nope. It's gonna be Ed.
Ed. Yeah. Who's Ed?
I'm not sure.
Oh, great. Is he active? He's still
Ed
bad?
Ed is new.
Ed is new. Okay.
Yeah.
Ed, congratulations. If you're here, we'll send you a message soon about in like 30 seconds. First, we're going to roll for the reward.
Actually, I'm gonna. Yeah.
We need music. Oh,
Oh, what happened?
it's off the screen. I don't see it anymore. Technical difficulties.
There it goes. Uh-oh.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Oh, so close.
Right, so Ed will get a 3 month membership either to Patreon or to Tribes, whatever he decides. Um, we're getting in touch with Ed soon to let him know about the Wheel of Vengeance. Guys that joined the Vengeance for tonight, you are welcome to change back to the previous tier. Thank you for that. I hope that you understand that this is random, it's not that we choose it. At one point, it's kind of like, why is this guy winning every single month?
I think what's happening is every time I close that window and open it, I think it's resetting it to like it's the first spin over and over and over again. So I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing like 2 or 3 spins before we go live. That way the window's up, but it's been spun multiple times. That way it'll be completely random when we go to do the real spin for the video. That way it will stop. Because I swear, it's just landing on the same 3 people all year.
Yeah, no, it's insane. I mean, it's like the past 3 months has been Reggie all the time, all the time. If it's not Reggie, it's
Yogi Bear, and then
Yogi Bear. Yeah, those 3 is like every single time. It's like this is gonna be arranged. I will feel that way. Yeah, but I'm glad that was someone different because it was very weird. Okay, so any questions, you guys, that you might want to shoot right now? And if no, we're gonna call it over night because I know that my co-host wants to go watch a show named Dexter Origins.
I'm about to. Dang it, man! I think I'm going to do that before I go to bed too.
See? It's a good episode. It's a good episode. If you're not watching it or you don't know, Dexter was a show in early 2000s about a serial killer that was trying not to serial kill, but then he started serial killing bad people.
Don't watch it if you haven't seen New Blood.
Right. So then after that, a couple years ago, came out with the sequel of that called Dexter New Blood, where his son is involved. Something happens at the end. And then as of Monday, they started a new show called Dexter Origins, which is Dexter as a young kid just joining the Miami Police Department. And so far, I mean, the 2 episodes that I watched, one on Monday, one today, I mean, pretty good. I liked them. I think that this one was very interesting. It felt like it flew by. It felt like 20 minute show. So obviously I enjoyed it. But yeah.
I know you were kidding. That's actually the Goonies is one of the ones that we've now designated for the 1 year, for the 12 months. Which actually, I don't know. I know we showed images, but I'll pull up that real quick just to show. Let me go to the rewards pages here, which actually you can kind of see them on Patreon in the. Got a notification. Okay, we'll downgrade it. Okay, cool. Wasn't a.
Yeah, please remember to downgrade so you don't have a surprise next month when you're being charged again $25. That's the deal with Avengers. You have to do it the night we do the stream. Just change for those few minutes and then go back to your current tier.
Right. So you can kind of see here on this image. This shows a little bit of what we've kind of sat back for the 1 year. Most of it's diorama based. That way, the bigger, better comes later. So like nobody's gonna get the 13 Ghost anymore until they reach the 1 year mark. They'll get all 13 Ghosts. They'll get all of the Red Dead characters. They'll get the Goonies characters, Pulp Fiction, Boondock Saints, the Punisher diorama, the Harley diorama, the Bruce Wayne diorama, the Spider-Man diorama, Pirates of the Caribbean diorama.
Eventually the GTA diorama.
Tombstone, the Flash, like any the Peaky Blinders, all those ones that we have big clumps of, that's what's being saved for the end. But when you get to 8 months, it's not like it's bad because you still get a lot of cool stuff. They're just more solo character based or a piece of a smaller diorama, something to help complete the lineup. But this way, it's basically, if you look at these photos, this is going backwards. So this will be the 4 month. It's not just these. I think I left a couple of them out, but it's the more simpler or older from our former artists. That way we can still include what they made for us while they were with us. But it's like got Solo Punisher, Sweeney Todd, Lost Boys, Star Killer, Maverick, Poison Ivy, Thomas Shelby, the original one we did. So it's not like it's not good stuff. It's just it's going to get better and better and better as the year goes on. So I spent a good 3 or 4 days making up this list, going through our models and trying to base it off of, if I was a member, what would I want to see the longer I've been? You want to see more and bigger, better the longer you stick around. So that's kind of the whole goal behind it.
It's something that you're striving for. I mean, that the longer you stay, the better the rewards they get.
Exactly.
And obviously, the new members, for example, I'm going to use Spider-Teen as an example. Let's say that Spider-Teen joined today and has a whole year ahead of them to get the rewards. Next time, because Tina they already have access, for example, to Freeze. So he won't need it to be in a welcome pack or a reward pack. But in a year, maybe they will have access to new models that other people already have. So we might change them a little bit after a year or after a year and a half. We'll see. So everybody will have, the right models, because maybe there are models that some people, when they reach a year, they won't have access to. It's completely possible. So we'll figure it out, but everybody will have access to the best models no matter what.
Tina's saying, I assure you, I will have your Goonies.
Yeah, I read that.
You can you'll get a 30% discount on My Mini Factory.
You know what he just said to you, basically?
What's that?
I will have my vengeance.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Guys, it's been a pleasure again. Every single time that we talk to you, I have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the streams. We really appreciate you sticking up with us. I know that there's many other options for the mods that we make. You guys know that they all come from a place of love and creativity, and we try to bring the best art that we can to you guys. And we are truly appreciative of sticking with us after all the issues that we've been having lately. We're trying to provide answers. We're trying to provide solutions.
Yep.
I really want to say thank you to Jordan for having me here, and to AJ. No, not to AJ. Megan, and Eddie, for being part of this amazing group, and to each one of you. And stick around. There's a lot of stuff that we cannot talk about yet, but we probably have planned at least 7 more months of models, and it's gonna blow your minds. I honestly can say that as a fan, as a paying member. Um, so yeah, stick around. I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas if you celebrate, or just a resting time on the 24th, 25th.
Hanukkah,
And for all of you, a great new year. And start with the right foot. Do something good for you or for others. I love you all. Thank you so much, guys.
Little disclaimer: I will be heading out of town Sunday. I will not be back until the 27th or 28th. I will have my phone. I'll be checking. I'll be able to message you guys, respond to comments and stuff. But if it comes to rewards and stuff like that, just know that I'll have seen your message, and as soon as I get back, I'll get them sent out if anybody messages about them. Or if you've got questions, feel free to ask in the Patreon chat. Me or AJ or Max, somebody will respond to you as quick as we can. And like Max said, I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great New Year. Do something positive in the world. That's all I ask of each of you, because it's been a very dark place for a very long time, and ready for some change. So that's it. Vengeance Studios is out.